Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Mega Man 7. I've had a stuffy nose for over a week now, but I just want to record, so I hope it's fine. Anyway, there's only two choices left, and I'm going to choose to slash right down the top right of the grid. Yeah, Slashman. Slashman has a pretty fun stage, rocking tune, and maybe the worst boss in the game, except that the last boss exists. We'll get to that. Anyway, there's danger of dinosaurs here, which is a really cool theme. And this is our new weapon. It's really bad. It didn't even hit the first time for some reason. The hitbox on Scorch Wheel is busted. I don't know what exactly the problem with this weapon is, but here, you can use it as a shield, in theory, but it never works. What you can use as a shield is Junk Shield, and then you can instantly kill everything that gets in contact with it, which is much better. Anyway, here we have some Mario 2, Doki Doki Panic references. You can do this easily with a first try going through at top speed. I died a lot here, don't do that, wait if you value your life. Yeah, I try to do a little bit with Scorch Wheel. It doesn't include flubbing my jumps, but it's just not great. Like, it is kind of like a ground crawling weapon, which always have had issues. Like, I do like them sometimes, it depends if the game is designed for them, but this game really is not, and it's also just really bad from its angle, and as I said, the hitbox, we saw that, and it just doesn't work as a shield at all. Like, Fire Shield was much better in Mega Man 1, so I don't really know why they made it like this and why they couldn't give us anything better from Turbo Man, who is like a transforming power robot car. No, we get exhaust fire. Anyway, this is how you get this E-Tank. It's really nice that you have to do this puzzle of staying on the dinosaur for a little bit. Memories of Brightman stage, and you can't cheat. they just erase the E-Tank if you go up the ladder. If you are like clever and you're like, oh no, I'm jumping off now, it's much safer, I'm coming down afterwards. Like, no, the E-Tank is gone then, which is rude, but I get why they did it. They want you to do the puzzle. It's, yeah, interesting. Anyway, more danger of dinosaurs. There's a big one. This is really cool as a set piece. The fight itself is, like, I'm not the biggest fan of mini-bosses to begin with, but this one here is a little bit annoying in my opinion, because if you stand like here, you have to go to the corner, just like standing there like an idiot so that his triple shot doesn't hit you. And if you're up there, he might just, without any warning, do the fire breath attack and hit you there. So it's often just very boring. Unless you use Junk Shield, then it's trivial. Because, you know, Junk Shield, busted, by the way, in case I haven't said that enough. If something doesn't have invincibility frames, oh boy, is it going to die. This last part of the stage, yes, we're almost done. Is a forest, so, you know, use the fire weapon in the forest. Indeed you can, and this is the only way to get rid of these very annoying bees nests. So this is the one proper good use Scorch Wheel has. But I can't use Scorch Wheel all the time because I'm almost out, because this piece of shit weapon needs a lot of pips to shoot actually, so I can't actually burn down the whole forest with it and cause these mechanical snakes to be really distressed. And also you can't get on the tree stump for some reason. You have to use Rush here, so I don't know, I don't like this part of the stage. It's kind of annoying. Also, I forgot that there is a final part to the stage, which is pretty much a big nothing. But anyway, here's Beat. Hey, we found Beat. Remember the Beat whistle, which we couldn't use all this time? It's because we have to free Beat beforehand, and you have to do it with a charge shot. No, this doesn't count for some reason. I don't know. It's like a mini puzzle, but you don't really have many verbs, so you might be trying a bunch of different special weapons. No, it's your starting weapon. That's what you have to do. So again, I don't know. Anyway, if you shoot the bee's nest, it releases a lot more bees, which can be very problematic. I'm going to show that off a little bit afterwards. But yeah, so this is the actual final part of the level. It releases mini dinos from these nests, from these eggs, which are very hard to destroy, so you probably want to just wait until they come out, and then they charge at you, and they are easily dealt with, very easily dealt with, unless you miss them. And that's it, that's the final corridor, and we can fight Slashman, and as I have already foreshadowed, it's not going to be fun. The big problem with Slashman is a big problem that countless no-hit runners, challenge runners have with him, is that it's completely random. This phase is fine, like he's jumping usually at you, you, and if he's close to you, he slashes. That's okay. And then there is this phase which makes no sense. Why is he dropping sticky eggs from the ceiling? And you get stuck if you walk into them, and you get slowed down for quite a long time if they fall onto you. And so you have to basically pray that they don't hit you. Like, just now it worked, but most of the time it just doesn't, because they are huge, the screen is small, and you constantly get hit, and it's just really, really damn annoying. Fortunately, there is something I can do against that, which I was trying here, but then Slashman just bodied me, because that's also something that can happen. It's not like the jumping around phase is easy, but if it was the only thing he did, then this would be fair and a fine fight, but the dropping eggs is nonsense. And by the way, he can charge from the wall. Either he can charge directly forward, or he can fall straight down. What I'm going to do now is use his weakness, because, and I'm pretty sure they did this deliberately, because this fight is bullshit, you have his weakness guaranteed. He's weak against Freeze Cracker. He's also weak against Cortree, but he's more weak to Freeze Cracker, so that's what I'm using here. And I strongly recommend anybody to do that, because otherwise the fight is a gigantic pain in the ass. It's not even easy with Freeze Cracker, because again, these eggs just fall wherever the hell they want, and he deals a lot of contact damage. See? It's even with the weakness, this is not an easy fight. I'm deliberately showing off a few deaths here just to show that I'm not perfect at this game. By no means, I'm not good enough to bust a duel Slashman, because it's just a complete roll of the dice. I could play this stage 50 times, and at some point I will manage to defeat him, because I can do dodging the normal phase, but when the eggs fall, it's random. It's completely random, and no, I'm not saying this to protect my gamer credibility or something. There have been countless no-hit runners who tried this, and they just confirmed again and again that there is nothing you can do. You can't manipulate him. Every speedrunner hates him. It's just a really, really bad fight. And again, I'm pretty sure that they made him weak against the weapon of the first rotation and the weapon of the second rotation, because they knew they had programmed a terrible ass fight, and it was just a little bit too late to fix it. And no, you also can't chain stun him. You have to wait for the egg phase every single time you hit him with his weakness. I'm glad it's over. It's really bad. It's a terrible fight. Yeah, we're just not gonna talk about him again, except that we still have to do the refights. Oh god, I'm going to show off the secondary weakness there, and it's just going to be very similar, except he doesn't freeze, he just burns up, and yeah. Anyway, what we get for that is one of my favorite weapons in the game, which shouldn't come as a big surprise, because I really like melee weapons in Mega Man games. Like, I'm a big fan of the Zero series, which is extremely melee focused, but I also love Topspin, as you know, which is the OG melee weapon, and Slash Claw is kind of similar to Topspin in that it can deal a lot of damage to enemies that are weak to it. It barely deals any damage to enemies that are not weak to it, and it is kind of glitchy in its hitbox. Yay! It's really like Mega Man 3 again, isn't that great? Anyway, I got a few extra things to show off here at the end, which don't have anything to do with the Terror Boss, so bear with me. First of all, the Dino Ride is kind of interesting, because you would think that with all the things coming at you from various angles, this would be a prime opportunity to use Freeze Cracker, and at the start it does look like it, except that Freeze Cracker, as I've noted before, it spawns a little bit in front of Mega Man and then does a diagonal shot, so that's a little bit annoying. But I wanted to give it some time to shine, you know, but it just comes out a little bit too late at some points, and then you have the issue that it can actually impact the Dino Shatter there and don't hit the enemy. Happens all the time there, so yeah, I'm not gonna use Freeze Cracker again, I'm sorry. And again, I'm trying Freeze Cracker here, because like maybe it's great against the bees, but you fire off once more and you hit the nest and it doesn't shatter, it just makes more bees, and I don't like it. I'm sorry, it's not a great weapon. Thank you very much for your attention.